Well, the general election is coming at us, folks. November 5th is barreling at us like a freight train, and there's a lot on the line. If you are pro-gun, you're pro-Second Amendment, pro-family, pro-life, pro-closed borders, pro not having your vote get watered down by criminal aliens. If you're pro-conservative America, you're going to want to watch this video. I'm Chris Dorr with the Pennsylvania Firearms Association, and in this short video, I'm going to talk about the two candidates who are running to represent you from House District 82 right there in Center County. And first of all, you have Democrat Paul Takak. He's the incumbent Democrat. We have votes that we want to tell you about with him. And he's running against Republican challenger Therese Holland. This district is very important because whoever wins this district, well, that party is likely going to control the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. The Democrats currently control it. They want to defend Paul Takak and make sure he comes back to Harrisburg. And at the same time, the Democrats are trying to flip the Pennsylvania Senate because they want to control all three branches of government, the House, the Senate, and the governor's mansion. That way, the Democrat agenda is the only agenda that's advanced going forward. And if you're a Democrat, or if you're a gun owner looking at that, you're a little bit nervous because, quite frankly, they have a terrible record of attacking your Second Amendment freedom. So I'm going to start with Therese Holland. We have great things to tell you about her. I'm so happy to be able to report this because I am not able to do this with all the Republicans. So I switched to my green pencil here. Let's start talking about Therese Holland, the Republican challenger here. The good news is right out of the gate, she signed, filled out, and returned to us her 2024 Pennsylvania Firearms Association gun rights questionnaire. She promised to lead the fight on all of the pro-gun bills like constitutional carry and the Second Amendment Preservation Act. That bill is both of those bills are fantastic, but the Second Amendment Preservation Act that Therese Holland wants to champion simply says that Joe Biden's gun control is not going to be enforced by Pennsylvania cops. How fantastic is that? Fantastic news. Right out of the gate, Therese Holland is going on record, filling out her survey saying, I'm going to lead the fight in Harrisburg. So that's excellent. She completed her 2024 PFA survey. She also, on that survey, we didn't just ask pro-gun bills. We asked her what she would do on the gun control bills. She said she'd vote no on red flag gun confiscation. I'll get into the details on that in just a minute. She said she'd vote no on universal gun registration. She'd vote no on the semi-automatic firearms ban that they want to pass. They want to outlaw all semi-automatic firearms, and I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. She answered every single one of these questions 100% pro-gun. So that's why we are going to give her this beautiful AQ rating, and it really means something because a lot of times some of these rhino Republicans, they don't want to go on record. They know that once they go on record, they can be held accountable for it. And Therese Holland, she didn't even bat an eye at it. She did not bat an eye at it. We love hearing about that. And we don't put much stock in endorsements, quite frankly. We don't do endorsements ourselves, but this lady, Therese Holland, is endorsed by Stephanie Borowitz, who is arguably, if not the most, one of the very top three most pro-gun legislators in the entire Pennsylvania General Assembly, maybe Pennsylvania General Assembly history. So if Stephanie Borowitz likes Therese Holland, it says something for you. Great news. She wants to lead the fight for gun rights, lead the fight against gun control. She went on record and said it. That's why we gave her an AQ rating. It's the highest rating we can give to a non-incumbent legislator, and she earned it. So thank you. Thank you very much, Therese. I'm going to switch over now from green to red because we're going to talk about Paul Takak. Now, I look at his last name. I was like, okay, how do you pronounce that again? But then I remember it rhymes with Taylor Swift. Takak. Paul Takak is most certainly not in favor of your Second Amendment. He refused to fill out his 2024 Pennsylvania Firearms Association candidate questionnaire. And I wonder why. I don't wonder why. Here's why. When it comes to red flag gun confiscation, Paul Takak supported it. He voted for it as an incumbent state representative. Red flag gun confiscation is the destruction of due process rights for gun owners. It simply says that anyone can petition a judge to have your guns taken away from you without you ever being charged, tried, or convicted of a crime. And at the hearings that you're not even allowed to be at, they call them ex parte hearings. You're not even allowed to be there. The person trying to convince the judge can enter as evidence the fact that you recently acquired a firearm as a reason why you should have your firearms taken away from you. Literally, Paul Takak here, I'll give him a red circle. He voted so that if you exercise your right to bear arms, it's justification to take that right away. That's insanity. But Paul Takak voted for it. So we gave him a big fat red X right there. He also voted for universal gun registration. This bill that he voted for, another red X, Paul Takak voted for this. It allows the state to track, trace, and register gun owners like they are sex offenders. It's absolutely preposterous, but Paul Takak voted for that. The whole purpose of this bill is it's the foundation, the building blocks for statewide gun confiscation at some point down the road. Now, it used to be that some of us who had said that out loud were labeled extreme, but now Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Beto O'Rourke actually said it on the debate stage back when the Democrats used to hold primaries to select the Democrat nominee for their party. But he said it right there on the national debate stage. Hell yes, we're going to take your guns. Kamala Harris says it all the time. Ban them. Ban assault weapons. Okay? The whole scheme there is built on the foundation of statewide universal gun registration. Paul Takak voted for that. It passed out of the House. Thankfully, the Republicans in the Senate blocked it. So he got another X for that one. He also supports a total ban on AR-15s and all, not just AR-15s, all semi-automatic firearms. He wants to ban Ruger 10/22s, Marlin Model 60s, Glock 19s that so many people carry to defend themselves, their families, and loved ones. He wants to ban those. He wants to ban Remington 1187 shotguns. This guy is absolutely insane left lunatic. Paul Takak, this is what he wants to do, ban semi-automatic firearms. He supports mandatory gun lockups. They call them safe storage laws, but Kamala Harris herself said the whole purpose behind the safe storage laws is to give the state the authority to invade the sanctity of your home. Her words, not mine. Invade the sanctity of your home to do government gun inspections to make sure you're storing your guns in a way that they deem proper. This is the same party that left billions of dollars worth of weapons of war in Afghanistan. Same party that sold machine guns to the Mexican drug cartels that were then used against American citizens and Border Patrol agents. Just Google Brian Terry. But that's what Paul Takak supports, mandatory gun lockups. Another big red X there, and mandatory gun buybacks. This is the final straw. This is the bill that they are pushing to legitimize their theft and tyranny. They want to be able to come to knock on your door when they do their gun confiscation and say, yeah, we know you have X, Y, and Z because of universal gun registration. Now fork them over. And if you give us your Glock 19s peacefully, we'll give you $200. Give us your nice M4s. We'll give you $250 for those. And there. By the way, that's your own tax dollars being used to enforce their tyranny. Paul Takak supports all of it. So the point here is you add up this. It all kind of equals an F rating, if you ask me. Total F rating. Paul Takak has a huge demonstrated history of voting against your Second Amendment freedoms. Folks, he has earned every bit of this F. He's got the voting record to prove it. Folks, I want you guys to see this information so that you can make your own decisions about who you want to represent you at the Capitol in Harrisburg. You want an absolute leftist lunatic activist like Paul Takak? Or do you want somebody like Therese Holland who says, you know what? The Second Amendment is very critical in its role for defending all the rest of the freedoms that we have. Keep in mind, all this gun control that Paul Takak supports over here, not one bit of it will ever stop a single killer. There's already laws on the books against murder. There's already laws on the books against going armed with intent, straw purchases, all those different things. But killers still violate those when they go and commit their heinous acts of crime. None of what's being proposed here affects violent criminals. It all only affects the law-abiding citizen. So that's the choice that you have between these two candidates. Wanted you guys to have this information so you guys can make your own decisions about who you want representing you. First of all, a little bit of homework here. Please share this video with all of your friends, your pro-gun friends. friends, family, loved ones, coworkers, neighbors, church members, all those people that live there with you guys in House District 82 there in Center County. Please share this with them so that they know what's at stake. Folks, there's over 500,000 gun owners and hunters right here in Pennsylvania that don't even vote in the elections. There's a lot on the line in these elections. So please share this with them so they see what's at stake here, the difference between these two candidates, and let them take it from there. If you see Paul Takak on the campaign trail, tell him to go try this stuff in Europe. Tell him to try this stuff in England. Okay, they like this kind of tyranny right now. But this is Pennsylvania. This isn't 1940s Germany or Italy or Japan. Tell him if he wants to peddle that kind of trash, that he's got to go find a different state other than Pennsylvania. This is the birthplace of freedom, and he should be ashamed of himself. Folks, last but not least, round up all of those pro-gun friends, family, loved ones, co-workers, neighbors. Head down to your polls, and on November 5th, vote pro-gun.